I'm here with my great friend, Michael Bungay Stanier. Michael, a fantastic coach, a great guy, great author. The Coaching Habit, #1 best-selling coaching book maybe ever written. Fantastic book. I love it. And you talk about questions.
I do.
In that book. And you know, one of the things you talk about is the focus question.
Yeah.
I think that's so important because today we are bombarded with stuff.
Right.
And it's really hard to prioritize and focus.
Yeah.
What do you mean by the focus question?
So here's the starting premise. In most organizations, people are working really hard, coming up with really good ideas, pouring time and effort and resource to solving the wrong problem. Because they get seduced into thinking that the first thing that shows up is the real challenge, and it almost never is. It's just the first challenge.
I see.
And one of the most effective things you can do as a manager, as a leader, as an individual contributor who's being more coach-like, staying curious a bit longer, is just to slow down the rush to action and advice giving, stay curious a little bit longer, and the focus question is one of the most powerful ways to doing that. So let me break it down for you. The focus question is, what's the real challenge here for you? What's the real challenge here for you? Now, the way that's said, the way that's written, actually really matters, because we'll start with a less good version of it. You could ask somebody, hey, so what's the challenge here? And that's a pretty good question. I mean, that will move the conversation on, get them talking and thinking a little bit, but you're going to get a little bit of almost like an executive summary of whatever the problem is. As soon as you add one word, it becomes a better question. What's the real challenge here? Because now you're saying to them, look, I've been around the block a few times. I know there's more than one thing going on here. What's the real challenge here? And you're going to make them think. And one of my philosophies about coaching, it's a bit paradoxical, is to be lazy. Stop working so hard to fix their problem for them. Make them do the work, because that's where they get the new neural connections, the aha, the confidence and the competence. So when you say, what's the real challenge here? Better question. But add two more words and it becomes a really great question. What's the real challenge here for you? Because when you add for you, the spotlight swings from the problem to the person solving the problem. And not only does the problem get fixed, but the person who's fixing it also learns and grows. So if I said to you, somebody, so what's the challenge here? And they go, well, it's Luke. Luke, he's our guy behind the camera there, terrible person to work with, no fashion sense at all, I'm really concerned about that. But if I go, but what's the real challenge here for you? Suddenly the top of the conversation's not about Luke, it's about me dealing with Luke. And that's where the insight is, that's where the wealth is, that's where the aha moment really comes. So that's the focus question. What's the real challenge here for you?
What's the real challenge here for you?
Thank you.
You.
Yeah.